In this video, I'm going to teach you how to implement in-app purchase in your Android applications and make money. So let's start with creating a new project in Android Studio. So I name it, for example, in-app purchase. Okay, I don't want to include Kotlin support. So I'm using API 28, empty activity, main activity, yeah. And just wait for the Android Studio to finish up everything. Now the project is created, so let's go to your Gradle scripts and build Gradle module app, the second one, and add a line of code here. What we need here is the second version of the billing client and billing, which is used to implement in-app purchases in Android Studio. Don't forget to click on Sync Now to download everything that is needed. Then go to your manifest and add this permission for the Android vending.billing. Then go to the main activity and add these two lines of code. One is the billing client, which is used for the in-app purchase, and another one is the SKU list. That is the list of the SKUs of the products that we're gonna present to the user. Before we can populate this list of SKUs, we have to define them in our Google Play console. Let's go there and do that. I'm in my Google Play console and in my app, which is test app. Then I have to go to the store presence and then in-app products and then managed products. We have also two more options, subscriptions and rewarded products, that I'm not going to talk about them in this tutorial. So click on manage products. I've already created a bunch of other managed products, but for this tutorial I'm going to create a new one. So I just click on create managed products. The product ID should be unique, and that is the SKU that I'm gonna use to populate that SKU list and use it in my application. So I write something like in-app purchase, for example. Go down and put something for the title, so I can say, for example, ad-free app. This is the ad-free version of my app, and then I have to make it active. And then let's go to the pricing. Click on add a price, and then since I'm living in Canada, the default currency for me is CAD, Canadian dollar. I can say, for example, for this product I wanna charge the user just $1 or $1.5. So I've got other countries, so I can say, for example, this amount of money is 1.89 in Australia or 1.19 in Austria. Okay, and then apply and then save. My product is ready. The only thing that I need is this ID. So let's copy that and paste it in my application. You can also go back and create as many managed products as you want. But for this tutorial, I'm gonna just use just one product. In order to save or store this product ID, I'm gonna use a variable called SKU. So that's going to be in-app purchase, which I just defined in the Google Play console. And in the onCreate, I'm going to add that to the SKU list. So add, so this is the SKU. Since this is a list, you can add as many SKU and products to this list as you want and take action depending on the SKU and the product. In order to implement in-app purchase, your activity has to implement purchases updated listener. So the error can be solved with, no, this is not the one because the methods are not implemented. Yeah, implement methods. So on purchases updated should be implemented. So the error goes away. We have to start a connection to the billing client. So let's do that in the main activity. So I can define a setup billing client and then create that one. Yeah, so that is a method that I'm gonna implement here. The first line of code should be this. So billing client will be equal to new builder, this, and enable pending purchases, and then set the listener to this, and then build this billing client. Now I can start connection. So new billing client state listener. Yeah, that is what we need. And there are two functions or methods: on billing setup finished and on billing service disconnected. If the billing service disconnected, now we can try to restart the connection on the next request to Google Play by calling the start connection method again. But when the billing setup finished, we have to check for the billing result. So if this billing result dot get response code equals billing result dot billing client dot billing response code dot okay. So everything is okay. So we have to do something here. So the billing client is set up successfully. So now we can load all SKUs. Okay. So let's implement this function in the main activity. I need it in the main activity and not as an anonymous function. First, we have to check if the billing client is ready or not. So we can say if billing client is ready, do something. First, we have to define SKU parameters. So I can say params is of type SKU details parameters. So a new builder. So here we can set SKU list, which is the SKU list that we have defined, and then for the set type we can have in-app, for example, or subscriptions. For this project, since we are using in-app purchases, we have to use in-app. Then we have to query the SKU details. So I can say billing client query SKU details async, and it requires a params of the type SKU detail params, which we have already defined. So I can say params and a new SKU details response listener. And SKU details response is overridden. So here we have to check again for the response. So I can say if billing result dot get response code equals billing client dot billing response code dot OK. We have a bunch of other options here. So OK, do something. We have to iterate in this list of SKU details. So I write for each SKU details object in SKU details list, do something. First, we have to cast it to SKU details and then use it. If this SKU details dot get SKU equals, or I can say equals like that, the SKU that we defined, that we're gonna process. If we found that SKU, do this. This is the SKU that we define. This is SKU in our purchase. If we have other products for this application, we can also put another else here and check for another product. For example, SKU details dot get SKU equals something else, do this, for example. But for this one, since we have only one product, there is no need to this else if statement. Then we need to put a button on the layout to be clicked to start the purchasing process. So we're gonna remove this text and replace it with a button. Just replace it with this one, with a button. Its name is begin buy. Let's just define this button in the main activity. After this part, we have the button, and then so I'm gonna do this button product equals find view by ID or ID that begin by, which we created here, and then I'm gonna set this button to disable, because at the beginning nothing can be done, because maybe the billing client is not even ready. And then when we found the SKU here, I can set my button enabled to make it clickable. And let's add a click handler to that one. Set on click listener, new view on click listener. Yeah, this one. The onClick, everything should be written in the onClick listener. When this button is clicked, I want the billing flow to start. So I can say billing client, billing client dot launch billing flow. The first parameter is the activity, so I can say main activity dot this, and the second parameter is a param of the type billing flow parameters. So let's create that param after. So this is how we define a billing param. So for this one, I want to say params, and then pass this param to BillingClient.launch billing flow. When the purchase starts, purchases updated fires. So let's implement this function. First, I'm going to store billing result.getResponseCode into a variable called response code because I want to work with it and take actions depending on the value of this variable. So I can say if response code equals billing client dot billing response code dot okay, so everything is okay. So do this. Else I want to say if the user already owned the product, so there is no need to purchase it again. Already owned. And again, if the result code is the user cancel, do something. So the purchase has not been done. In this line of code, we also have to check for purchases not to be null, not equal null. So I can say for each purchase in the list of purchases, do something. Handle purchase, for example, and then I pass the purchase. Then I have to implement create method handle purchase. Here I can say if the purchase dot get SKU equals the SKU that I'm looking for of the product that I want, do something. For example, say to the user that you are a premium user. I can say, for example, purchase done, you are now a premium member. Now, if the user clicks on the button, they can purchase the product, but how can we make sure that they will not buy the same product again? What I do in this project is to set a value in the shared preferences. For that, I created a method called setBooleanPref, like this. So I just edit the preference and put a value inside it. But when we should set this bool value in the shared preferences? The first case is when the user has already bought the same product on another device, so we have to make sure that they do not have to buy that product again and can easily use that product on another device. So this is where I do that. So I can say put the value of true for the SKU, for this product ID. So it shows that this SKU is owned by the user. The second case is when the product has successfully been purchased. So that would be here. And to read this value from the shared preferences, I've got this method, get bool from pref. And then in the onCreate, before starting the billing process, we can check the shared preferences, and if the user has already owned the product, make the button disappear and provide the user with premium features in the app. So let's do that in onCreate. Can say b is equal to the value stored in the shared preference. So if b equal true, do this. For example, and else do this one, for example. Here we can say button dot set visibility, so invisible, and I can say, for example, you are a premium user, so enjoy the features. This is all you need to implement in-app purchases in your Android applications. Implement it in your applications, and if you have any problems or questions, feel free to put your questions in the comment area. I will put the source code in the GitHub repository for you.